villain ending. What's the problem?
Listen, you hated me since the first day you were born. And I always knew you'd stick it to me. I didn't know you'd do it through the MCU and this thing on Jurassic Park. You sticking it to me.
This. We're going in circles. You hate that she's a villain because the villain is a dinosaur, but it's a dinosaur movie. But you like the dinosaurs surviving, even though they weren't evil. But even though she's the villain, you didn't want her to die. But she had a villain death because she was the villain. I don't get it.
You know what, dang it, you're my villain. You know that?
I just want to understand.
Okay, here's what's going on.
Okay.
When they said there's gonna be a antagonist, I said, okay, use a natural predator. Like there's so many dinosaurs, there's so many carnivores besides T-Rex and Spinosaur. Use a natural one, or if you don't use a natural, create a situation where the villain's not exactly a specific antagonist. The conflict is not man against, man against man. It's man against environment. She's a dinosaur, but that's still man versus man.
Huh?
So, what I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is, why would you give Jurassic World T-Rex, like an outright antagonist who kills because she's evil, like an outright villain, like a killer in a thriller movie?
Yeah.
Instead of that, just use just come up with a new villain like an Allosaurus or something, or a family of Allosauruses. And then when she died at the end, like she was evil. Was this Fast and Furious or Jurassic World?
Yeah.
And then the Mosasaur came out like he's a hero and killed her. She died at the end. She died at the end.
The original T-Rex came back to finish what she started.
You know, Rexy and Blue didn't do nothing. They both got whooped. And they was going to get whooped again until the Mosasaur came and intervened. And then when Indominus died, they no longer speak of her.
Yeah.
Like she was just evil for that specific purpose. What a waste.
Yes! Well, yes, she's a villain. Villains die in movies.
What a freaking waste.
It sounds like your real problem is that it had a dinosaur be a villain. It sounds like it anyway. I don't get this.
Like I said, you hate me, and you don't know how to say it. So you're going to use anything
I'm trying to understand this. I really want to understand
See,
this.
Rexy, in 1993, the T-Rex was the villain, but she wasn't going after them like hate.
No, exactly. That was the point. That was what they were going for. It wasn't a mistake. They knew what they were doing. Just as they knew what they were doing now. You're right. They never were the villains. But that's what made it special. That's what made it different. The fact that they went generic is actually what made it unique. Because they haven't done it before. They made something totally different entirely. Something fresh and different. Something new. Something logical. And something kind of sad. Because she had no place in our ecosystem. So yes, she's gonna have very homicidal tendencies in ways no living being should. That's the point. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a bad choice for the sake of being a bad choice. That was it. That's the next step. Because the other one, Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaur was evil for the sake of being evil. That was stupid because there was no point to it. This one had a lesson to tell. This one had something to tell us about ourselves, the inner beast in all of us. Because of what that thing had to find out about itself. About what it was. About how human beings are stupid for being able to do this in the first place. And have no idea how to prepare for the consequences. That movie had a story to tell with that. It was generic, but the fact that a dinosaur, something so innocent as a primitive life, can have just as much evil tendencies as a human, because of what humans did to it, says so much about humans ourselves. And that was the point of the movie. That's why I loved it. And yeah, they gave her a generic death, but she had no place in life. There was never going to be a good spot for her to live because she wasn't meant to be, unlike the others. That's why they had to kill her off. It was a mercy killing, if anything, because it was a tragic story. She wasn't meant to exist in our world, either way, whether in the past or today. She didn't exist in the dinosaurs' ecosystem, let alone ours. So she had to be put down. That's what that was. That's why I thought it was brilliant.
You know what, Shane? You think everything's brilliant.
Why would I think everything's brilliant? It's
Let
true.
me tell you something.
I know a good story when I see one.
When you
I write for a living.
That Spinosaur in Jurassic Park 3, I know you're a writer, but in Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaur made more sense to her because the Spinosaur was just a straight jerk. Like, there's no reason for him to hate people for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, them animals don't care about no humans, and this dude just seeking them out. Like, they were in the water. But I like the Spinosaur. Yeah, I like the Spinosaur as a villain because I don't know how to say it, but Indominus was just so staged. The Spinosaur wasn't. It just existed and decided, man, I just hate humans, man. The T-Rex didn't hate nobody. It was just out for a meal.
Yep.
You know, Rexy didn't. She was an animal, you know. But the Spinosaur, he was like that next level. He's like, I don't like humans. Like, I seen them. I don't care where they came from, what they do. I don't like them.
So you like sloppy writing as well as it's charming.
You're right. What are you trying to say? Yeah, you just said it. I've been trying to get you to say you hate me, but I didn't know how to do it, and you just did.
It was Jurassic Park 3 was very sloppy writing. It was just there for the sake of being there.
It was an adventure movie, you sick.
But adventure movies should have something because there are a lot of adventurous movies out there. They need something special about it. Jurassic Park 3 had two others before it with the exact same running, screaming in terror, people getting eaten adventure you already seen before. That's why the movie sunk. It didn't have nothing special about it.
You're talking about my generation, brother. I
love a lot of your generation. I love when your generation makes sense. My
mother rented Jurassic Park 3 for me when it came out, and I loved it. And the Spinosaur was new. Dude, the Spinosaur was new. For 2 movies, we had to worry about T-Rexes. So in 2001, when the new Predator was like a swimming Spinosaur that was worse than the T-Rex and bigger, that was great. And then 20 years later, Indominus, so you had to make something up?
Yes, that was the point.
The point is you're trying to tick me off, and if it's not through the MCU, you're going to use my own favorite franchise.
It's like you can't say something was a mistake when it was crafted purposefully.
And then the Indoraptor, bro. The Indoraptor.
Because that's what people do if they own a part of living things that should be extinct. That's what humans do. They make stuff they shouldn't make. That's what Ian Malcolm be saying.
No, Ian Malcolm don't know what he's talking about. That's why his daughter, that's why Kelly, you notice Kelly, he almost got his daughter killed.
She went there without his permission. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's right. She almost got herself killed. But anyway.
Yeah.
But seriously though, yeah, but honestly, dude, like when it comes to Indominus, man, like the character, she's a character. She's not just a dinosaur. She's a character.
Yeah.
That was the first time Jurassic Park, like literally, they wrote for the film a villain. The Spinosaurus wasn't really a villain. It was vicious, and it didn't like them. But I wouldn't say it was a villain.
Yeah.
The T-Rex from the first film was not a villain. She didn't even think about them until she saw them.
Okay, to your credit, I will say one thing. Go ahead.
What? Go ahead.
The theme of the Jurassic saga in general was always meant to be, you're right, the dinosaurs were not meant to be the villains, nor were they meant to be the actual, antagonists. The point of the Jurassic saga was to show the hubris of human beings and how our stupidity, as brilliant as we are as a species, can get ourselves killed.
Exactly.
That was the point of the saga, and Indominus was a route away from that, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I do get that point, but it still played into it because human hubris created her something that shouldn't have existed. Mm-hmm. So yes and no.
Yeah.
That's my thing with that.
But don't get me wrong, like I love Indominus because like it was a nice move. Jurassic Park 3 came out July 18th, 2001. So 14, 15 years later, you got Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 4. Now, Jurassic Park 4 was supposed to come out in 2005, but it didn't. And it
Yep.
had so many scripts, so many ideas. Jurassic World, before they had that idea, it had so many changes, so many scripts, so many release dates. But I was grateful because Indominus was the best move after so many years. You know what I mean? After so many years, that would be the best. And then you got an operational part. So what else would be the problem?
Yep.
You know, even though I wasn't really satisfied with the design and the fact that they kind of just made some jerk, but when it comes to the Indoraptor, I love Fallen Kingdom, but the Indoraptor just ticked me off because they were trying to ride the mutant train, and
Yeah.
they even made the environment smaller so they can fit this.
Yeah, they did. Make that scarier by comparison.
Yeah,
So
and
they're trying to be different. Because granted, we did have a lot of T-Rex chases, but Fallen Kingdom was lacking. I do agree with that one.
yeah, and the Indoraptor character, like I do appreciate Fallen Kingdom for changing the pace. Like instead of being an open running environment, it changed the pace where it wasn't an open environment but a closed environment. So
Yeah.
a evil raptor would work for a closed environment.
It does.
But making the thing borderline creepy, like running down the hall, predatorizing children, pulling their sheets down, they turn into a
Shoot.
pervert rapist.
The thing smiled. Remember
Yeah.
that scene? It smirked. That was creepy.
That's when Jurassic Park ticked me off. Come on, guys.
They were no longer animals. They were just evil villain personalities.
Yeah, Indominus was cool, but when Indoraptor was just an outright villain with human traits, and then he got smoked by Blue. I'm glad Blue smoked his butt because if she wasn't going to do it, I was going to go in there and do it.
Blue beat you to it.
So now they got Dominion. I don't know much about Dominion. I'm very excited, Shane.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about Dominion. But if it's just gonna... I'm trying to see where they're going with the Giganosaurus.
Yeah.
You know, where are they going with this Giganosaurus? Because if you're going to have the biggest... I think it's the biggest predator and the biggest carnivore and dinosaur. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do it smart. Don't just have the original cast and a new cast running from just something that you run out of ideas. So you're like, okay, what's the biggest? If it's going to be the Giganosaurus or whatever it's going to be, raptors, which I doubt because Blue had a baby, and they made raptors anti-heroes. What happened to raptors being scary?
They made them anti-heroes.
When I was little...
I mean, granted, they're his friends specifically, but still, yeah.
Yeah, when I was little in Jurassic Park and the Lost World, dude, I'm going to let you know, Shane, I was terrified of Cynthia's house. Auntie Cynthia.
Ooh, yeah, watching the intense movie at that age at Cynthia's house. Ooh.
I was terrified of that. Dude, Jurassic Park terrified me. I was terrified of her house because raptors scared me. They really did.
She got crevices everywhere, gosh.
Yeah, and her
In
house...
that basement.
Yeah, she got crevices, and upstairs is all dark. So I was very... Listen, dude, I was so scared of raptors being in her house. And then they used to mess with me and say, don't go up there, raptors are up there. I believed it, Shane. No, dude, I believed it.
Yeah.
So raptors used to scare me. And then you got Blue in Jurassic Fallen Kingdom. Dude, Blue jumping out of windows, blowing stuff up. I'm like, wait, what happened? What's this, Fast and Furious? What's this, James Bond? She deliberately destroyed a facility and did a Mission Impossible jump out a window. I'm like, what the heck?
Like a parody of itself.
Yeah. And, you know, it took a different route, and now the Raptors are good?
Well, that one specifically should be at least.
Yeah. I just miss when Raptors were something to be afraid of. In the first movie, Raptors were terrifying.
Yes, they were. I remember.
you know,